Don't get me wrong with that title. I'm just stating facts. As time goes on, there will be tons more shows with better actors, bigger budgets, and fresh stories. But there will never be another series like Breaking Bad, and let me tell you why. In this video, we will delve into Walter White's meth lab, where he not only cooked up a blue product, but also helped create one of the greatest series in television history. It might sound over the top to say there'll never be another series like the Breaking Bad, but looking back on it over 10 years since it started, it's true. No show before or since has done what Breaking Bad did. It spun this gripping story about a regular man turning into a ruthless drug boss in a way that kept us all on the edge of our seats. A lot of the show's success goes to its creator, Vince Gilligan. While the idea of transforming an ordinary guy into an anti-hero wasn't entirely new, Gilligan took this concept and turned it into a 5-season drama that constantly challenged viewers to think about their feelings toward Walter White. Bryan Cranston's incredible performance captured Walt's complicated journey perfectly. Right from the start in the pilot episode, they showed us the two sides of Walt, the simmering frustration hinting at Heisenberg beneath his calm suburban exterior. As Walt gets deeper into the underworld of New Mexico over 5 seasons, they portrayed both the darkness Walt is capable of and the humanity he holds on to. Actually, the show probably ended the anti-hero drama. Since then, nothing has matched Walter White's twisted journey from a shy chemistry teacher to a methamphetamine lord. A crucial part of Breaking Bad's brilliance was how they gradually built up Walt's complex partner, Jesse Pinkman. When we first meet Jesse in the pilot, he seems like just a lost junkie, a simple tool to get Walt into the meth world. But as Breaking Bad unfolds, Jesse changes a lot because of the dark consequences of teaming up with Walt. At first, Walt treats Jesse like a troubled son who needs fixing. Despite their clashes, they're fiercely loyal to each other. But as their partnership deepens, Jesse sees the terrible things driving Walt's ambitions. Remember when Jesse found love with Jane, only for her to die because of Walt's inaction? Jesse's horror and guilt grow as he suffers abuse, mostly because of Walt's decisions. Aaron Paul plays Jesse so well, showing him as a moral contrast to Walt's corruption. Even as Walt's lies come apart, Jesse becomes more empathetic. His complex character makes him both captivating and tragic. Like everything else in the show, it's hard to imagine another series creating a character as unforgettable as Jesse Pinkman. But it doesn't end there. Breaking Bad introduced many characters throughout its 5 seasons, and you know how tough it is for each one to have a significant story arc? It's a big challenge that the team nailed. The characters in Breaking Bad don't just react to specific changes in the plot. The changes happen gradually. Pretty cool, huh? But here's the most interesting part. The twist in Breaking Bad is that there isn't one guiding character who stays constant throughout the 5 seasons. It changes as the story unfolds. In the early seasons, it's Skyler, Gus, Mike, Hank, and finally, us. Yes, us. We had the final say in deciding who the hero of the story was. But first, let's see what I mean when I say that the supporting characters guided us throughout the seasons. Let's start with Skyler. And no, she's not the bad guy in Breaking Bad, despite everyone hating her. This might be my most controversial opinion yet. Throughout the story, many fans have argued fiercely about whether Skyler is a victim of her husband's crimes or if she's actually the main villain. To me, this debate doesn't make much sense. The truth is, her character is much more complicated and has many sides. Over the series, Skyler changes a lot. She goes from being an unaware wife and dedicated mom looking after her son with cerebral palsy and supporting her husband after his cancer diagnosis, to a strong woman fighting to protect her family. Her relationship with Walter gets tense, but it's always driven by her love for her kids. Just like any mom, right? Anna Gunn, the actress, had to deal with all the hate her character got on screen and in real life. And here's the thing. In the early seasons, the more we hated Skyler, the more we liked Heisenberg. It didn't matter that Walter White had already caused a lot of trouble. Skyler got all the hate. Still, Skyler ends up doing what Walter White wants. She agreed to keep quiet about her husband's crimes for the sake of her family, and she even took over the White family's money laundering operation. But things change when the once-beloved chemistry teacher attacks her family in their own living room. That Ozymandias episode marked Walter White's ultimate downfall. It made us realize that Breaking Bad wasn't really about a man taking control of the situation, but about one who destroys himself and those who love him. So if you're feeling guilty now for hating Skylar White, just know that the show wanted that. And that's one of the things that makes it such a great series. Another character who stands out, mostly due to the actor's incredible performance, is the methamphetamine magnate, Gus Fring, played by Giancarlo Esposito. When Gus is introduced in the second season, all we know is that he's a well-established methamphetamine dealer and the owner of a chain of restaurants called Los Pollos Hermanos, seemingly friendly and anonymous. But beneath his friendly facade, Gus turns out to be one of the smartest, most calculating, and ruthless drug dealers on television. Esposito portrays this duality masterfully. We can see in real time the exact moment when his warm smile fades and the cold gaze of a professional killer takes over Gus's eyes. By the fourth season, in an 11-minute flashback, we come to understand why Gus is Gus. In the episode Hermanos, those 11 minutes show us some of the psychological traumas that drive the businessman. It's 1989, and Gus is sitting with his compatriot Maximino Max Arceniega at the hacienda of the drug lord Don Eladio Fuente in Mexico. Max gets killed at the end of the meeting, and Gus is forced to watch the chilling scene. So, one of Breaking Bad's biggest achievements was taking an underestimated actor like Esposito and making him well known by giving him space to develop Gus's transformation from a seemingly harmless fast food manager to a ruthless underworld kingpin over several seasons. Now, one of the most important characters in both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul is Mike Ehrmantraut. But here's something you might not know. This character was created last minute because Bob Odenkirk, the actor of Saul Goodman, wasn't available to shoot the scene where they clean up Jane's body, Jesse's girlfriend. And it turned out to be a good thing Bob was busy. Even though Mike was a late addition, he became one of the key characters in the success of both series. Initially seen as an antagonist to Jesse and Walt, the series saw him evolve in his dealings with them, even forming a bond with Jesse. His story developed so much that one day his death became a real shock. In what world could Walter, who's impulsive and clumsy, kill someone as experienced and cold as Mike? In the world of this series, obviously, a world that seems bent on catering to every whim of the former chemistry teacher turned drug maker. The unforgettable hitman walked stoically with a bullet in his stomach until he found a place to sit with dignity. The last man with a sense of honor in Breaking Bad died gazing at the river, reflecting the last glimmers of the evening sun. Another character who changed a lot was Hank Schrader. He went from being a goofy cop and the ultimate brother-in-law to an obsessed and effective cop. He was the first to expose Walter, and he did it in the bathroom. His ending suited his character. Hank was a bit of a family guy, yes, but only within the family circle. Outside, he was tough. Maybe that's why Hank Schrader was the reason behind what's become the best episode of the series. And if you really think about it, Hank's character development was pretty wild. He went from posing with corpses, wearing Hawaiian shirts, and trying to act tough with Walter and his buddies with that annoying nervous laugh, to revealing to both the audience and himself a significant amount of personal anguish, an undeniable aspect of being a detective, and ultimately becoming, albeit reluctantly, a key element for the series' formidable final twist. But Breaking Bad wasn't just a character study. It also had an unmatched level of plot intricacy on TV. Each season built on the last, weaving together storylines into explosive moments. The show trained us to expect the unexpected. In any episode, a character could meet an untimely end, or Walt's family could face unforeseen damage. The stakes were so high that we held our breath through each commercial break. For these reasons, we're unlikely to see another series like Breaking Bad. TV shows have changed since 2008, favoring shorter seasons and contained stories. Getting approval today for a teacher-turned-drug lord concept seems unlikely. Even if such a show aired, in today's fragmented audience landscape, it would struggle to capture the pop culture attention the Breaking Bad had. We might see another antihero protagonist or tense crime saga, but the perfect combination of acting, writing, cinematography, plotting, and timing over 5 seasons is unlikely to happen again. For those who watched it unfold in real time, Breaking Bad was uniquely thrilling and thought-provoking entertainment that hit at just the right cultural moment, and there will never be another show quite like it. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.